Hey guys, this is Dave with Audio In. Today I have another first because we're going to be checking out an IM that is actually being marketed as a gaming IM. Now, I have reviewed several IMs that are marketed for music that just happen to also be good for gaming. So the question or questions I would ask are, what exactly is it about the tuning or any other attribute that makes these better for gaming than your typical $50 IM? And also, do these attributes or its gaming focused tuning also work okay for just listening to music? No. Okay, let's quickly go over what's included in the package with the Mars. Of course, we have the IEMs and cable. This cable is modular, so you can swap out the terminations. However, they only include a 3.5 termination. So if you do want to change them out, you'll have to purchase them separately. The only problem is I'm pretty sure you just can't purchase the terminations individually. I think you either have to purchase another cable that includes them or just buy one of their sets of IEMs that include them. I think they include a similar cable with all of the termination options with the TA3 and the TA4. Now, as far as the rest of the accessories, they've also included a pretty decent amount of tips, and of course the Mars being marketed as more of a gaming IEM, they've also included a mic that attaches to the cable, and they've even included the TRN TE Type-C USB dongle style DAC. So that's kind of cool. Unfortunately though, they do not include a case or carrying pouch. And as far as the price, specifications, and design, the TRN Mars comes in at $59, and it has a multi-driver configuration consisting of one dynamic driver, one balanced armature driver, and what TRN is referring to as a vibration unit that should be activated whenever it senses footsteps or gunfire while playing games. And as I had mentioned, it also comes with TRN's TE USB Type-C to 3.5mm dongle DAC. And it sounds fine. I actually tried it with a few other my IEMs, and it worked great with all of them. It's not a great DAC, but it's also free, so that's kind of cool again. And then I also tested the mic out, and it works fine also. It's not the greatest, but it's not bad either. Again, it is a budget set, so you just have to kind of set your expectations accordingly. The build and the design are pretty good for the price. The IEMs do fit well and they are light, so I didn't have any issues with discomfort, and I was able to get a decent seal using some of my own tips. I've actually been using the Divinus Velvet ear tips for a lot of my IEMs because they're just really comfortable, and it seems like they work with just about everything. Again, they do include tips, and the black large tips did okay, but most of my testing was actually done with the Divinus Velvet tips. The included cable is also pretty good. It's soft, it's fairly easy to manage, and again, it is modular. Okay, let's move on to the sound. Okay, let's talk about the sound of the Mars. So right up front, I need to disclose that I'm not an avid gamer, but I did download several games with lots of footsteps, gunfire, explosions, and I also tested it with music and movies as well. And let's just say for gaming, it was decent, but for music, I was just a little underwhelmed. And again, when I was reading through the promotional material, it was all about gaming, and I found almost nothing about using it for listening to music. That being said, I do think I should share my impressions from both perspectives. So from the perspective of gaming, but also from the music listening perspective as well, just in case anybody watching this intends on using these for listening to music. And you know what, just for time's sake, I'll tell you right now, these did not work super great for music, mostly due to the treble sounding unnatural, and it's just overly forward. And I also had something strange going on in the bass as well. Not only was it muddy, it was just tuned in a way that didn't work very well with kick drums and bass notes in general. That being said, the treble detail actually wasn't that bad. It just didn't sound natural or generally correct, at least for music. Now, one area I felt the Mars does okay with is imaging and soundstage. Not that the soundstage is wide necessarily, but it is decent, and I did feel like it did pretty well with instrument placement. But I think the issues I couldn't get past were its odd tuning and its, again, just its general unnaturalness. So that was my experience with the Mars from a music perspective. I did, however, have a much different experience when using it with games, not just because of its decent imaging and general immersive qualities, but also because of the tuning. But here's the thing, specific types of tuning tweaks can make gaming so much more engaging, and it really can go a long way in enhancing and intensifying the gaming experience. On the other hand, those same tweaks that make gaming so much more enjoyable can have the opposite effect on music, and I think that's what was happening with the Mars. The tuning, while helping to accentuate and enhance certain sound effects with games, actually caused instruments and vocals, again, just to sound unnatural at times. But while I was gaming, I actually felt like it was doing what it was supposed to do for the most part, which is enhance the footsteps, gunfire, and explosions. And even the 3D imaging was also decent. Now, the only thing that really didn't impress me was the vibration unit. It did work, but it didn't really do much for me in terms of enhancing the overall gaming experience. So in the end, I guess I felt like the Mars was able to do, for the most part, what it was supposed to in terms of gaming use, except for the vibration unit. That really didn't do much for me. So it's decent for gaming. However, I don't feel like it's that great for music. But the bigger issue is, for me, is that there are lots of budget alternatives that are actually tuned good for music and also work good for gaming, like the Tangzu Wan'er, and I have the Celeste Ryu cable on that, but also the Moondrop Chu 2, because now that has a detachable cable. So either of those would work just fine and be at about the same price range. So given that there are several other more versatile and equally affordable alternatives, it does make it difficult for me to recommend the Mars. But just to reiterate, for the most part, it does what it says it's supposed to do in regards to gaming use. And otherwise, it is a well-built, comfortable set for the price. So that concludes my review of the TRN Mars. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. If you like my content, please take a second and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you would please like this video, please share this video. I hope you have an awesome day.